We are back. Season 16, episode 15 of Shark Tank is in the books. And we are back with another summary or IP battles episode. I am your host, Dave, 10-year intellectual property attorney, dealing with everything from patents, trademarks, copyrights, as well as trade secrets. And we had a lot of it going on this episode as it relates to IP and the business owners protecting their IP. So kudos to them. Now, these episodes, these IP battle episodes are different from the Shark Tank reaction breakdowns that I do, in that we are going to go through each of the 4 pitches. I'm going to kind of show you guys the summary of the pitches in case you missed it. And then at the end, I would like for you guys as well as myself, I'll give my answer on which Shark Tank business do I think is going to be around over the next 10, 15 years, and what Shark Tank business I think is going to make the most money. Now, a lot of times those are one and the same company, but that doesn't necessarily have to be the case. Like I said, I'll kind of go through the pitches, and then I want to hear from you guys at the end. Let me know in the comment section which Shark Tank pitch from episode 15 do you think is going to be around over the next 10 or 15 years and kind of make the most money. Some housekeeping items before we get off into the first pitch. Please hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, as well as hit the subscribe button to be a part of the IP community. I would love to have you a part of the IP. We're growing, man. We're over 2,700 subscribers now, and I'm trying to get to about 4,000 before. Actually 5,000 before the year's end. Well, we're 3 months into the year, 4 months now into the year, and I'm trying to get to 5,000 here before year's end. So please hit that subscribe button to be a part of the IP community if you haven't hit it already. Let's get off into the first pitch. I'm not going to hold you guys up any longer. History by mail. Let's go to see what the owner has to say about what service do they provide or offer. Then I'll come back and I'll let you guys know my thoughts. Let's go.
9 months and 5 years ago, a new company was brought forth, conceived in history and dedicated to the proposition that all Americans deserve equal access to hold the documents that have shaped us. We highly resolve that this nation shall experience a new birth of historical understanding, and that the sharing of history of the people, by the people, for the people shall never fade from our collective memory.
He's supposed to be Abraham
Hi,
Lincoln.
Sharks. I'm Ari from Chicago, and I'm here seeking $250,000 for 10% equity in my company, History by Mail. History doesn't feel real if you can't experience it. Not everyone can go to a museum, and even if you can't touch all the artifacts.
Yikes.
But what if you could literally get your hands on history? Well, now you can, thanks to History by Mail. History by Mail is a subscription service that delivers the best of America's incredible history directly to your door each month. Subscribers receive an envelope in the mail each month to their home that contains an immersive experience they can touch and examine, making the past feel vivid and exciting. Let's see what's in my mailbox. Ooh, my History by Mail letter. Wow, the check used to purchase Alaska from Russia, written in 1868 for $7.2 million, for land that today is worth $60 billion in annual GDP.
Wow.
That's a return on investment any shark would love, and a real estate deal only Barbara could beat. History by Mail brings the monumental moments of the past into our everyday lives. We are a movement to connect people with the stories that shaped our world, one letter at a time. So, Sharks, who's ready to make history with me?
Now, again, I actually like this for a number of reasons. Number one, no matter what niche your business is in, you can still make money. When I say make money, you can still make millions of dollars, which this gentleman showcased. History buff, and we all know whether it's kind of museums or libraries, kind of history can be kind of an outdated thing, at least how they provide history. And this history buff kind of put a twist on it. His American Replica company that kind of mails out American replicas of kind of your favorite parts of history, whether it's the Emancipation Proclamation, whether it's the U.S. Constitution. He mails it out to you, and he has over 85,000 subscriptions. So clearly this guy is doing something right. He made, as of last year, I think around $1.5 million, in which he took home $400,000. And I have to back that up because we got to put that in perspective. They say that the average American makes around $50,000, $60,000 a year. This gentleman has profited $400,000 from his business kind of dealing with history. Talk about turning your passion into money. This gentleman has did it. Some other things that he got a deal. So on this one, we went 3 for 4. I know a couple episodes ago, we went a perfect 4 for 4. I think last week wasn't too hot, if I had to be honest, in terms of those business owners getting a deal. But we started off strong this season with this gentleman getting a deal with Daniel, the guest shark. And it seemed like Daniel, he was a little bit active this time around. So I guess let's see here. Let me make sure I have all my notes. Yeah, he's killing it, man. 85,000 subscribers. Valued the company. He initially was valuing the company at $2.5 million. It seems like Daniel kind of didn't value quite that much, but nonetheless, this gentleman has a great business. And most importantly, from my perspective, he's protecting his IP, that being a trademark to his business. So we're going to go right in order. Next on the list is Future Circus. Let's go to take a look at what the owner has to say, and then I'll kind of come back and give you my thoughts on it.
Hi, Sharks. My name's Brent Bushnell. I'm asking for $500,000 for 5% of my company. Sharks, humans need to get together more in person. Kids need more active play. Everyone needs more joy. Future Circus has an answer. We're game makers creating huge futuristic group games. We use standard locations like basketball courts and parking lots, together with the latest mixed reality technology to create downloadable theme parks. Literally, this is like living inside your favorite video game, and it's as easy as putting on a pair of goggles. As an example, imagine you're on a tricycle in the middle of a parking lot at your local mall. Or maybe you have a wizard wand in your hand and you're throwing fireballs against your friends in the most epic street wizard spell battle your town has ever seen. Now, the best part is you can do this in a park, a parking lot, your home, but most importantly, vacant retail. All of these places can be turned into magical wonderlands that you can connect with your friends and have a heck of a great time. Now, Sharks, the time is now to extend the $350 billion video game industry out into the real world. So, Sharks, who wants to run away and join the circus?
Talking about high expectations. Now, unfortunately, this gentleman did not get a deal, but I can assure you he will be okay. You're talking about your father invented Atari. Now, Atari, I must say, that was before my time, but hey, my uncles and older siblings played it and kind of talked about it a lot as I was growing up. And he invented Chuck E. Cheese. I was just actually at Chuck E. Cheese like 2 weeks ago with my daughter. I haven't personally been to Chuck E. Cheese before then since like high school, or maybe not high school, but out of grade school, K through 12, maybe middle school or high school. So it was good. I'll tell you what, man, Chuck E. Cheese has definitely changed a lot since I've been in there. But you have a father who invented Atari, invented Chuck E. Cheese, high expectations. I think he said it on his pitch, how his father with 7 kids and raised them to all be engineers. I can tell you what, they talking about, kind of the free will to be able to do everything you want. I think if your father kind of gave you that engineering mindset and skill set growing up, I think you'll be all right, whether you go to engineering or not. I think just having that kind of thinking process will serve you well in life. So again, this gentleman, I'm not worried at all that he did not get a deal. It's an interesting concept in terms of Future Circus, but I know long term this guy will be all right once he gets off and running and kind of gets a little further down the line. Let's keep it chugging here. We are going to go with CowPots. Talking about an interesting business. Let's hear from the owner of what she has to say about what the business offers and provides, and then I'll come back and give you guys my thoughts.
Hello, Sharks. My name is Amanda Freund, and I am here seeking $200,000 for 10% in my one-of-a-kind business. I've come here today straight from my family's dairy farm in Connecticut, and I have someone special to introduce to you. This is Bessie. Sharks, in one day, this gorgeous gal right here produces 7 gallons of fresh milk. What you might not know is she also produces 100 pounds of manure every day.
My God.
I can top that.
I bet you could.
For generations, dairy farmers like us have used the brown stuff as the best organic fertilizer to grow our crops. But we're still left with a crap ton too much. So my family decided to put the poo to good use with CowPots. Eco-friendly gardening containers made from, can you guess?
Manure.
Cow manure.
That's
CowPots
crazy.
are the only American-made, renewable, and recycled container that is 100% biodegradable. We currently offer 15 different styles, providing gardeners and growers with a sustainable alternative to single-use plastic. These plantable pots are easy to use and waste-free. Just plant these babies and the roots penetrate through the pot into the soil for a happier plant. Sharks, we are upcycling a resource that is generated all over the world. So who's ready to grab a shovel and start turning this brown stuff into green stuff with me?
Now this again was a very interesting when you were talking about the facts. Some of the information that I learned, I didn't realize that at least according to her cows, 7 gallons of milk a day. That seems to be pretty solid, even though I kind of don't drink milk. It messes up your boy's stomach these days. I stick to almond milk, but more importantly, 100 pounds of manure. So hey, it seems like it's not going to be a shortage of resources for them to kind of take and use for their actual kind of product, that being a cow pasta that's made from biodegradable cow poo. And one of the interesting things that I love about this particular pitch is that she took some type of kind of restriction and turned it into a business. It seems like, again, the cow's producing 100 pounds of manure a day, which is crazy even to think of that. But it seems like it was regulations in terms of what you can do with it. How can you dispose of it? And she kind of said, okay, I got a new way to dispose of it. I'm going to turn it into a cow pot. I actually love the name of the actual company, CowPots, and she does have a trademark on that. So kudos to Amanda for protecting her intellectual property. I'm interested, and I'm gonna reach out to Amanda to try to get on a podcast. I had a great podcast today with Dig World, so be on the lookout for that coming out in the next couple of weeks. But I'm gonna try to reach out to CowPots and or Amanda at CowPots and have her on a platform and on a podcast, because she kind of talked to. I'm interested on whether or not it's she had filed for some type of patent on this product, whether it is, whether it's a it's utility patent or design patent. I'd be interested. It's something in her kind of spiel that made me think, okay, maybe she did try to get some type of patent on it, but we'll see once I kind of try to get her on a platform. Yeah, she got to deal with Mr. Wonderful, which seems like he kind of loved this and trying to kind of provide this in other areas, such as kind of wine and in other packaging areas, which that's one of the other great things that I love about entrepreneurship and kind of coming up with a product. Because again, as Amanda did, she's using this for planting pots, but he's like, hold on, man, this has another use case scenario. We can kind of expand this to other packaging materials, whether it's candles, whether it's wine. So I think that's why he ended up doing a deal based on that light bulb going off. Some other things. Now he again quite didn't value with it. $2 million that she did, but again, I think she got a good partner. And yeah, that's pretty much it with that one. So again, we're 2 for 3 so far. Let's see what Paper Tacos, the last pitch of the actual episode, is doing and selling with their product. And then we'll come back to me and I'll give you guys my thoughts. Let's go.
Hi, Sharks. My name is Jesus Rubalcaba. I'm from Salinas, California, and I'm seeking $120,000 in exchange for 10% equity in my business, Paper Tacos greeting cards. Sharks, have you ever been woken up on your birthday to friends, family, even a mariachi as they sing to you Las Mañanitas instead of the traditional happy birthday song? And have you ever had your face just smashed into your birthday cake as people yell, mordida, mordida, or bite it, bite it? These are some of the cultural traditions that I grew up with that made my Mexican celebration so unique. But when it comes to the greeting card industry, there's a noticeable gap. You see, greeting card companies try to target the Latino community with the Spanish language alone, and they forget a lot of times about the cultural nuances that make us so unique. For example, we might say get well soon, but we also will say something like sana sana colita de rana, or heal heal the butt of a frog. This is something we say when you're hurt or not feeling well. Our cards are already resonating with the Latino community and beyond. So Sharks, why settle for Spanish greeting cards that really blow?
Hey, sometimes you think of these niche products as being kind of limiting and not being able to make money, but it's almost like, I don't want to say the complete opposite, but you can actually make a good living off these niche products. You're talking about Jesus, shout out to the Hispanic community, Paper Tacos, cards, with kind of, paying homage to the Mexican or the Hispanic culture. And he's killing it. Now, shouts out to him for doing a deal again with the guest shark, Daniel. So Daniel, 2 deals this particular episode, but I think in 2024, he is projected, or, they said he was going to do around $188,000. 60 of that he's going to profit from. So again, he's just starting out, and according to Mr. Wonderful, which seems like he had a conflict of interest, the greeting card market is a pretty big market. So I didn't realize that the Hispanics, obviously it seems like at some point in time, the African American community was the second largest group here in the U.S., but it seems like the Hispanic community has taken over that. I think 40 million Hispanics in the country. So he definitely has a market for it. That's one of the three things that I look for, is whether or not it's a market there. And it definitely seems like it is a market there. And again, it seems like the margins are good. 58 cents he make these things for. He's selling for $5.50. Hey, but I think this has the potential to be something. Now, I may end up trying to get one of these things and kind of, get it as a maybe a gift for it. I do have some Hispanic friends, so I may have to give it as a gift, see if they appreciate it. But again, we went 3 for 4 this season, or this episode, I should say, 3 for 4. Again, even though I think the future Circus, that will be something down the line. We went 3 for 4 with the last one. Paper Tacos end up getting the deal as well. And now with the final question. Which product do I think is going to be around long term? And which product do I think is going to make the most money? Drum roll, please. I think the product that is going to be around the longest, I think CowPots. Because again, the manure is always going to be there. I don't think this is going to be like a fad where somebody's like, okay, we're going to do this for a season and then we're not going to do it. So I think definitely CowPots is going to be around the longest. I just think they're going to expand into other product lines. And then I almost think that they're also going to make the most money long term as a result of them expanding into product lines. I think a close one for me, a 1B, I would say, is History by Mail. But I just think that, like I said, he had 85,000 subscribers, and I do think that's going to grow. I had one comment said, hey, man, why would he do a deal for 20% of the 400,000 profit he was getting? And I commented under that video to say, okay, based on him doing a deal with Daniel, if he gets that to $1 million, see, he's the guy who was commenting under the video is thinking that he has to split, 400,000, give 20% of 400,000 away. And I'm thinking, okay, based on a partnership with the Shark Daniel, having raising the profits to $1 million and giving 20% of that away, and now he's still kind of pocketing 800,000. So I do think that History by Mail is going to make a ton of money in the interim. But again, he even said it in terms of the 18-month subscription. I do think it is going to be around, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure based on the 18-month subscription, but the subscribers kind of hanging around for 18 months before they kind of put away the subscription and kind of maybe go do something else with their lives. So I do think that, again, the gentleman is going to make a ton of money with History by Mail, but I think given the fact that Amanda has Mr. Wonderful as a shark, and also the product can expand into other product lines or other territories or areas, I think that's going to bode her well in the future. But that's my opinion. I would love to hear from you guys in the comment section. What product do you think is going to make the most money over the next, going forward? And what product do you think is going to be around over the next 10 or 15 years? So I would love to hear from your guys' thoughts. That essentially concludes season 16, episode 15. We are chugging along. Before we get up out of here, please hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm, as well as hit the subscribe button to be a part of the IP community. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you guys on the next episode, episode 16. Take care.